So we always start off by saying, welcome to Plugged In Chatham-Kent, your business podcast for the Chatham-Kent and beyond. I'm Andrew, work in economic development and communications, and with me today is...
Dave Dawson from Instant Print and Promo here in Chatham.
And you used to, it's a new title. It was Instant Print Shop for the longest time. So.
You're right.
All right.
Yeah, we just sort of changed it to sort of reflect more what we do, and we still do printing traditionally, so it keeps in with our roots. We're doing more promotional products, trade show displays, signs, that kind of stuff.
Really expanded out into a lot of different variety.
Exactly.
I have, you sent me notes, 42 years, and the Instaprint's been in business, right?
1978, 42
and
years.
Yourself, you've been in business in businesses for 27 years, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say businesses because you're involved in a lot of things going on. So it's not like the Instaprint's your only baby. It's there's a lot of stuff going on. So you want to talk about? We've got a lot to talk about actually, and there's things I didn't even tell you I want to talk about.
All right. Surprise!
Surprise! But first, I want to start off with your top 6 list. So let's dive into your top 6 list. You sent me this. I thought it was awesome. So what's we'll start it. We want to do count down or count up. What's your preference?
They weren't really in any order.
Let's do count up. So start number 1.
Well, what they are is they're just I've been doing this business thing for 27 years. I've learned a few things.
Sure.
These are just some of the things that I've learned. For business owners, that add a bit of value to people that are watching and listening to the podcast. And I mean, if I can share some information to help them out, then I'm happy to do that.
I think that's one of the great things that in our conversation before this is that your goal to here today is to sort of talk about businesses, talk about how to help other businesses, which you've got, as I said, 27 years of experience. You've probably learned a few things, what to do,
a thing or two,
maybe what to avoid, that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
So, and this top 6 list, I really like it. So
good.
You've made it extremely complex, and so the first one is
keep it simple.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it's the opposite. Anyway, so what do you mean by keep it simple? What do you?
Be clear and direct in your messaging. If you're making a sign, business card, brochure, whatever, don't try to put everything in the world onto it. Keep it simple. They say you get about 10 words per page that people actually read when they're breezing through things.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got everything in the world on your one-page brochure, people aren't going to read it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We've been doing messaging things with flyers and books and business cards for decades, and so we know what people do and don't read. Somebody said one time that the most effective billboard ever said, "Free coffee, next exit." It told you what it was and how to get it.
Yeah, I could see that.
4 words.
That's good.
So if you're trying to tell the whole story of 35 years ago, my grandfather started the business and blah, blah, blah. Just tell them what you do, how to get it, who you are.
We were talking about that yesterday as a group working on our elevator pitch information. And I created 2 for this, but without getting into the details of it, ultimately it was one that was about 8 words long.
Right.
For that, you've got 5 seconds. Let me just blat, and then one that's about 2 sentences long that gets in the details.
Yeah.
So we have the hook, and then we have the details to follow up. So it's that keeping it simple idea. So
exactly.
Others I've seen their elevator pitches be like 2 full pages of information, and they just want to stand there and read it. I'm like, that's not a pitch. It's not simple.
No.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
So
ours is basically something like people don't have much time. Busy business owners are busy. They don't have time to do all their stuff, so we make it easy. We do their printing, their promotional products, and give them time to focus on their own business so they can spend their time doing what they do best, not worrying about getting bunch of copies made or designing their own brochure.
That's fair. That's good. See, simple. Yeah. Number 2, learning. Never stop learning. When you get running into challenges, that sort of thing in business, when you keep learning, it just helps you to get past those challenges. Absolutely. Yeah.
There's lots of great learning opportunities out there, whether you're reading blogs, on email lists, podcasts, videos, that sort of thing. I know for myself, I've got a couple of business podcasts, including this one, that I'll listen to on the commute home and back to work in the morning. And I find that just those sort of things just get me motivated. By the time I get to work, I've learned a few things on the way in, things I want to do. Okay, I want to do that in my own business now. And just continuing learning just gives you the confidence to go through those challenging times.
And not only are you talking about that type of learning, but you joined us yesterday for an event, which was about analytics. And so, you're practicing what you're preaching here.
Right.
So it was great to have you out to the analytics event. And
thank you. Thanks for putting that on.
Oh, hey, thanks for being there. And shout out to our Digital Main Street team who did that.
Absolutely.
They did. I thought they did a great job. What were your thoughts?
It was very good. Yeah, there were some good, useful ways to use the analytics, not only how to get them, but what to do with them once you get them. That was helpful.
Okay, good, yeah. Good. That's good to hear. So, not to put you on the spot, but I'm going to.
For sure.
Next thing is number 3 was you put down be convenient.
This is a big one.
What does that mean to you?
Make it easy for people to do business with you.
Okay. Yeah.
That's basically, you think about your customers, what their friction points are. Mm-hmm. I thought about that. I know what friction points are in our industry, in our own business, and just in shopping in general. When you go out, we all shop and deal with other businesses. What irks you about them? Is it being on hold for 10 minutes? Is it getting us a voicemail system that says, your call is very important to us, press 1 for,
Yeah.
If those are things that you find are friction points, then what can you do in your own business to solve those? If it means having somebody answer every phone call in the 3rd ring or sooner, then do that. If it means being open later, open earlier, so your customers can come when they can come, do that. There's so many different ways you can think like your customer and make things convenient for them. Whether that's through your website, online ordering, whether that's through the way, whatever it is. There's so many different opportunities.
I was chatting with somebody back in November who was preparing cool sort of customized Christmas ornaments.
Right.
And they said, I think I'm just going to throw something online, and I don't know, we'll see. I said, okay, that's nice, but if somebody wants to buy one right now, what do they have to do? Oh, they can email me, then we'll go back and forth, and maybe call. I said, why don't you just make a simple page? Make an order, put a form, what name do you want customized on it, because it's only one word, and let them buy, let them buy right there, and they can pay you, and away they go. And so out of this, they went up getting sales and orders, and more orders than they thought, because it was simple. It was simple. So you get number 1, simple, and convenient. There was no follow-up emails other than to say it's done. How would you like to deliver it? So I love that one.
I saw a great example. I went into Pizzazz Florals here in Chatham the other day, talked to Chantal, the owner, and both on the simple and convenient, she's made up a little chart of about 8 or 9 combos of what you can get. You walk into a florist and you're staring at the cooler and you're like, what do I want to get? What do I want to send? You have no idea.
Yeah.
You might know how much you want to spend, but you don't know what you're going to get for that.
Sure.
So she's made up a perfect little chart of combos. You tell her how much you want to spend. She's like, well, there's 3 right there that are probably great options. They're all great options. Now you're narrowed down to a choice of 3. So I like that middle one. Let's do that.
Perfect.
Easy, convenient, simple.
Yeah, I love it. That's really good. I'm going to check it out for Valentine's Day.
Coming up very soon.
Tomorrow. Yes. Yeah. Next one, value your time. This is a big one for a lot of people who are in business.
Yes.
So what do you mean by value your time?
Well, when you see a smartphone and all these promises of it's going to save you all this time, because it does say, we all know that didn't happen.
Yeah.
In fact, we have less time now because of smartphones than we ever did.
True.
And when you're a business owner, you've only got so many hours in a day. What are you going to spend those hours doing? You can spend those hours trying to do all your book work. If you're not an accountant or a bookkeeper, that's difficult for you. It's going to waste your time. Or you can go out and you can talk to your customers. You can prepare the next campaign, the next product that's going to make you $50,000 next year or whatever.
Yep.
In that same amount of time, you can put your money into what you know how to do, moving your business forward. I think somebody said we're on the business, not in the business.
Yes.
From the email, I think.
Yeah.
That's sort of my idea. I mean, some people will say, well, I don't want to spend $50 to get somebody to professionally design my brochure. I can do it myself. Then they spend 3.5 hours doing it. They can spend the money, take that 3.5 hours, and develop a new product that's going to make them tons of money next year.
Or answer all those customer inquiries.
Or send out the orders there. Or if you're a chiropractor, you can do 3.5 hours of working with a client at whatever your hourly rate is.
Absolutely.
Chances are you'll make more than $50.
Absolutely. Value your time.
Value your time.
Yep. And figure out what your time is worth.
Exactly.
Right? Because there's a lot of really new businesses where they go, okay, I don't have a choice. I'm going to do everything myself.
Right.
But there comes a point in your growth where you go, oh, my time is now worth more.
Exactly.
Worth a lot more. And so that's that switching point. That's that changeover. And we even see that in manufacturing, where they may automate one piece and take that person who's working on that very simple thing that's now automated and improve their time, give them a new position. So it isn't job elimination. It's upscaling the job and making it more valuable. So
absolutely.
Next one, be generous with your knowledge. Well, you're here. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Absolutely.
What are you thinking about this?
Well, if you're in business, you are there because you know something or you're passionate about, or both, about a product.
Yeah.
Chances are somebody else wants to know about that.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one who can share it with them. Whether it's experience you've learned in business, or if you're a doctor, you know a lot of stuff about medicine that people don't know. You can write a blog. You can start a podcast. You can do any number of things to share that information with people out there, whether they're your current customers or whether they're people you hope might someday be a customer. You share that information. It shows that you're an expert in your field, and you can be trusted. And it lets you know that you care about people. You care about, even if they're not your customer, you still care about them. Whoever's listening, reading your stuff, then someday when they do need what you're offering, they know already that you have the expertise and the compassion, you care about them, and they're going to come to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think one important thing about sharing your knowledge is doesn't mean share your proprietary information that might be really valuable.
Right.
But I was listening to a podcast a little while ago where it was actually about Star Wars and the fellow who designed that BB-8 rolling and droid.
Right.
And he said by the time they created Revision 3, they had shared Revision 1 and how they had done it and shared that with the community. And the community went off of fans and created either exact replicas or improvements. And then they got to borrow ideas from those improvements for version 4. And so it turned into a bit of a sharing exercise that they went, oh, we hadn't thought of that. And so they still had the proprietary information, but they looked at the old information and said, this is still valuable to some people, so we'll share that and pass it on. So I always love that, hearing that sort of thing. So,
absolutely.
And I think that ties in. And the last one is add value. Number 6, add value. What are you thinking on add value?
It's mostly knowing the difference between price and value. People don't necessarily want the lowest price. They want the best value. You can get the lowest price if you want, but if it doesn't come with good service, a good warranty, after-sale service, it's not really worth anything. What can you do as a business owner with your product or service, or just everything about your business that will add value for the customer? Whether that is just the way you interact with them when they come into your store, your customer service, the people that are working for you in that area, whether it's your warranty you offer, whether it's your after-sales service, any number of things, whether you deliver for free for them, or even offer delivery, whether it's free or not, that may be valuable to them. You don't need to be the cheapest necessarily if you can offer good value.
What have you found that has worked, maybe on the same side? What in your experience hasn't really added value that you thought, geez, this would be a really great idea? Have you encountered any of those sort of things? I know I'm putting
that's a good question. I mean, certainly we like to focus on service. We're in an industry, printing is part of what we do, but even anything where sometimes it helps to have somebody who knows what they're doing when you take your little thing you jot on a napkin and turning it into a beautiful brochure or something, or even if you bring in your own thing, it helps to have someone who's looking at it and says, oh, you spelled this word wrong. Do you want to fix that before you do it?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're just sending that off to an online print shop based in...
Not to pick in anyone, but yes.
Wherever, they just print
somebody
what
who doesn't
send them,
do that. So,
you get it back and you said, oh, I spelled something wrong.
Yeah.
Now these are no good, or the wrong phone number's wrong. They're no good to me now.
Yep.
But, so something we like to do, we'll take the time often to look at it. Not that we proofread everything that comes in if we didn't do it, but we certainly, if we see something, We often do when we're printing them. I had somebody send me something yesterday where they had the word labor on there and they spelled it the American way instead of the Canadian way.
Ah, okay, yeah.
It's still right, but I said, but they're a Canadian company. Would you want that? Oh, that's a good point. Maybe I'll
Make a
change
little
that.
quick change,
Yeah.
and yep,
So just that kind of value added thing there with the service.
that's fair.
That's we like to focus on the service, and
Okay,
that's certainly a good value add. But
Nice.
any of these things are. I mean, whether it's a warranty, and after the sale too. I mean, we've had people come back with stuff that wasn't what they expected, even if it wasn't their fault, or even if it was their fault. Excuse me. Yeah, we'll fix it for you.
yeah.
No charge. And if we can do that, we will.
I think you're touching on a point as well of the advantages of shopping local. is that
Exactly.
you can actually interact with somebody
Yeah.
and be able to have that touch point of saying, this isn't exactly what I was envisioning, or something went wrong, and you can
Yeah.
talk to someone.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. That's
yeah.
a big thing too. It's not only you can order things from somewhere not local, and if you have a problem afterwards, you try to get a hold of somebody. They don't have a phone number, or if they do,
Yeah.
you're going through a huge tree of, push 1, push 3, push. Then you get stuck on hold for a while. Good luck getting your problem solved. Whereas, like I said, the good thing about local, you can often walk right in or pick up the phone and talk to a human and say, "This isn't exactly what I want. What can you do for me?"
Yeah.
Chances are you can have a good solution within a couple minutes.
I think everyone out there probably has their own horror story of ordering something online or from far away,
Yeah.
only to discover it's gone horribly wrong.
Absolutely.
I've got a few, unfortunately.
We all do. Yeah,
right?
I got some too.
But well, that was a good top 6. So thank you. Thanks for
Absolutely.
coming up
Thank
with that.
you.
That was awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the things that I wanted to move into next is your Chatham-Kent Business Owners Group.
Yes.
Because we've talked about this a bit before, and I think it sounds really interesting, and you've created cards and you've got information out there. But let's start with the big question of what is the Chatham-Kent Business Owners Group?
That's a good question. To try to make it simple and keep it simple, it's an email-based networking group, support group for people that own businesses in Chatham-Kent.
Great.
What's motivated me to start? It's something we just started, and it's free. There's no cost in it. That's going to be a big question. Mostly because I feel passionate about it, so I wanted to do this.
Sure.
There's not any hidden agenda. I'm not going to start charging people a subscription 6 months in, because I'm part of something similar. It's not local. It's worldwide, and it's just for my particular industry. But I found it's a great way that I can get to know and reach out to other people in my industry. If I have a question, so that's basically, if I have a question about something or something that I found that's valuable, I can send out an email. This is the way it works here.
Yep.
To one special email address, and it goes out to everybody else on this list in this group. They all get the email. If I have a question, they can say, chances are one of them has that answer, has experience. They can write back and say, "This is what I found," and everybody else gets that response, so they can all learn. Yes, I should. That's how kind of it works. I should explain that first.
No, it's great.
But I've been a part of one where, it's more geared toward print owners, print shop owners. But so if I have a question I'm thinking about a new digital copier, does anybody else ever use this particular brand? I'm looking at one.
Yeah.
There's about a dozen people there. Yeah, I've got one. I love it. No, I hate it. Or watch out for this. This is really good. Except this part, so it's very valuable. If for instance you're hiring your first employee, you've never hired an employee before, where do you start? You don't even know.
Yeah.
One email you send out, all of a sudden you've got, whatever it is, 100, 200, 300 people by the time this group gets going, hopefully, and one of them's going to say, you know what, I hired somebody last week. It was my first employee. I went to the Goodwill Career Center. I went to workforce planning, talked to them. I did whoever, and they'll say, this is a great resource. If you're hiring someone to watch out for this, think about this. Don't forget to worry about this.
Yep.
And we're all in business, and we all think sometimes you think you're in it alone. Nobody else gets what it's like to own a business. We're not. There's 2,500 businesses in Chatham-Kent. All of them have owners. All of them have the same struggles. They're running the same questions. Why not use this way to relate, to connect with them?
Yep. No, it's a great tool, and I want to share this out. I'll make sure to share this out a little bit more. There's, it's a very similar. We've got it's an existing group for manufacturers. There's one. Obviously, I think maybe there's probably some similarities and questions,
Right.
but manufacturers are. The questions I'm seeing coming from manufacturers are, where can I find a major aluminum supplier for this, and this type of project? Maybe
Right.
a little different than
A
smaller
little
business
bit,
owners, but
but
not to say they
You
couldn't
never
join.
know. Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that'd be really interesting. I'll share that. I see the website CK Bog.
Yeah, Business Owners Group. Business Owners Group.
.ca.
CKBOG.ca.
Okay.
It's got all the details there. You can sign up right there. It's really easy. It's one of those things that I was telling Andrew earlier. I know that until we get 50, 100 or more people actively involved in it, it's not going to be really useful. So just be patient, but sign up. And once we get other people signing up, tell your friends about it. If they own a business in Chatham-Kent, get them to sign up. And then once people start get on there, and people have questions, or if you found something great that you want to tell everybody about, same sort of thing. And so we're just started that. We've got a few people on there now, but hoping that people like the podcast will reach people and let them know about it. And
absolutely, one of the things that I identified when I first started here was that networking was a huge request. We would have these surveys from events, different activities, and people said we need more networking time. So I don't know if you noticed yesterday at the session, there was dedicated networking time.
Yes.
There was also dedicated, we're going to take a break now, time that there was no need for a break. But that break started more conversations.
Right.
And we saw that, and we're seeing that. And so just a thought for others who are hosting events, think about networking time, build it in.
That's a good idea.
Because it's so important. I don't know if you were having conversations with others around the table. So this is another way to network, work together.
Absolutely.
Mentoring, all of those sort of things. So that's fantastic. The Chatham-Kent Business Owners Group. Again, free.
Absolutely free. Yep.
Free, and not out to make money on this. But it could make you money if you're right there on the connections, right?
Absolutely.
That's the thing.
You know what? This one that I've been a part of, I'll just shoot this out. Just since you mentioned that, from being part of this Business Owners Group and talking to other print shop owners, because it's for our industry, I've learned some things that have saved me a lot of money. Just in the last year or two that I've been in there, somebody else on there posted something they learned about a particular piece of software, a sale and the subscription. I was going to buy the software anyways. I went there and got it then because they mentioned the sale. I saved about $300 right there.
That's perfect.
Just from being a part of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I love that. I want to jump topics onto here and sort of give a shout out about one of the things I was really impressed that you're doing. So you talk about value add, and we've ordered things from you. We've ordered things from all across from Chatham-Kent because we do that.
Absolutely.
I loved one of the last boxes I received. I opened it up, and it was full of information. And you had information about the Business Owners Group. You had information about feedback on your surveys, your social media. You've included there's a ruler, which is kind of sort of a cool giveaway. Also an example of something that could be a giveaway for somebody else.
Absolutely.
More information about the new things that you're offering. It's clever. It was a clever way to incorporate into what was already going to be delivered as a product.
Right.
A little bit more information, so I think that's a great example of doing that type of thing. What were your goals with it? What were you thinking when you pull that together?
Just what you thought. We've often done that, but it's a perfect way. We've often talked about within ourselves, our shop, that whenever you have a package going out the door, it's a great opportunity to advertise to your customers. They're already buying from you. They like you. They've been there. We will find sometimes that we'll have a customer that buys product A from us, but they don't buy product B. Not because they don't need it. Sometimes we know they need it. They just don't know we do it.
Absolutely.
We used to do that years ago, and even now. We'd get checks in the mail that customers are paying us by a check, and we'd look at the check and say, we didn't print that check. We print checks. Sort of a similar idea. So you know that they're buying them from somebody.
Sure. So
we would put labels on packages and say, we also sell checks. We also sell labels, whatever it might be. So this was just an extension of that. I mean, it's certainly for the flyers we put in there, other things that we do. It's a great way just to let people know we do them. And you said that the ruler is a great example of giveaways people can also do. It's a economical way of putting.
It really is. And,
great giving away at trade shows, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The feedback, I stole that idea from another company that did it. I thought that's a great idea. If you're happy with it, let other people know that you were happy with what we did. If you're not happy, let us know. We'll do what we can do to fix it. And it's worked. We've had a lot of people that have given us some good reviews online, and which we're happy. And we've had people come back and say, what, this wasn't quite right, and we're able to fix it for them and help work on that for them. So
that's awesome. One of the neatest inserts I've ever received in a package that I've ordered was it was a chocolate, but it was a chocolate that had a story behind it.
Okay.
That went with it. And it was completely unrelated to the thing I ordered. But they had this long story about this thing, and it was just so compelling to read. It was a hook, right? And it got me on to thinking about something else. And it's another avenue of what their service delivery was. And so the chocolate itself wasn't the product, but it was it carried into it. So creative thinking differently, looking at how you can take advantage of that opportunity.
For sure.
Because otherwise, it was just me opening up the box and away we go.
Right.
Meanwhile, I'm walking around the office going, "This is cool! Look at this!"
It makes people think about it. We've thrown into roles in our packages quite often.
Sure.
And little things like that, and it's just something that it's not much, but people will notice it.
It's different.
It's different,
right? Doesn't have to cost a lot.
No,
it's just a little different.
Just a little bit extra. People talk about it, and they'll notice it.
One more thing I wanted to touch on was giving back. So one of the things you're involved in is the 100 Men Who Care group.
Yep.
And so I thought maybe it's a good time to get a little plug for what that group is, what it is, and why you're part of it. So.
Absolutely, sure. 100 Men Who Care is very simply, it's 100 men. Actually, it's more than 100 now. Yep. It was started, I don't know how many number of years ago. Not unique to Chatham-Kent. There are chapters all over. The idea being, we're all busy. We don't often have time to give back to charities we like to. So this gives a chance for, in our case, men. There's also Women Who Care. They have a chapter here in town as well.
Yep.
They were here first, actually. But to get a bunch of men together, everybody puts in $100 at the meeting.
There's 4 meetings a year, right?
4 meetings a year, so your commitment's $400 a year.
Yep.
For most people, that's not much. That's,
Yep.
The meetings take an hour, no more, so it's not a lot of time commitment. And what they do is people within the group will nominate a charity, a local charity, that they are passionate about, that they have had often had experiences with. They've benefited from the charity's work. They'll get up there. We'll draw three of these charities that have been nominated by members of the group. The 3 members, so not the charity themselves, just the members who are passionate about it, will get up there, give about a 3 or 5 minute presentation on the charity, what they do, and why they love them. 3 of those. Everybody votes on one of them. Whichever charity gets the most votes gets a donation of the $100. And if there's 100 men who are there, $100 and 100 men is $10,000 support to a local charity.
That's awesome.
Just in 1 hour.
In 1 hour.
In 1 hour. So it's awesome. It's an easy way to support your community. It's also great for networking because there's a lot of networking time during the event. I've met a lot of great people there. I remember hearing about this before it was even in Chatham-Kent. I was in another town and read an article in one of the local papers about this. That's an awesome idea.
It really is. That's
when
why
they started it here. I thought, I'm signing up. Right day one, I was first meeting, and it's really, really good. I can't say enough. So right now we have, I think, about 130 guys in our group. I think the women have a similar amount in theirs. I'm sure I think it's 100 Men Who Care CK. I'm not sure what the website is.
100menck.com.
There you go.
I checked just so I had that.
You are good. And
it looks like your next meeting is April 30th.
Yep.
Links at Kent at 6 o'clock.
Absolutely.
So, Yeah, since you told me about it, I thought it was a great idea, and share it out
Good,
to
for sure.
all the people out there. And again, talk about you're giving back. You
Absolutely.
really are. There's so many things. There's the business owners group, the 100 Men Who Care, and even just the information and sharing. So
And like I said, there is 100 Women Who Care Chatham-Kent.
yes,
Search them, you'll find them. They meet the same sort of deal, 4 times a year, $100.
mm-hmm.
I know they're a great group of women there too.
Well, thank you for coming in, and thanks for
Thank
sharing
you.
about that both groups.
Absolutely.
So I don't forget, we have a ton of different events and activities. We have a tax session coming up on the 19th. There's Shopify. There's all kinds of different sessions going on. Check out investck.ca for a listing of all of the events. There's just so many. For International Women's Day, we're pulling together the 3rd meeting of the Women's Leadership Network. That was just launched the other day, so that'll be coming out. Of course, anyone's invited, so it isn't just women, but when they call it Women and Friends. But it is spearheaded really by a group of really passionate women who are also dedicating their time to help make sure that this event runs. And it is a little more focused for entrepreneurs. It's focused for the business community. But really, if anyone wants to come out to it, it's wide open. However, space is limited. We found a venue that has 200 capacity, so hopefully we'll fill up this event. The last one was over 150 people. It was awesome, so it was a really good event. So investck.ca, your website, instantprintandpromo.ca.
Right. Thank you.
Shout out for that one.
Thank you.
That's everything on my side.
If anybody is in a business, starting their own, or if they've been doing it for a little while and they just want to chat, I'm happy to share the advice, things that I've learned. Just stop by. We're on Richmond Street. We're easy to find. Drop in any time or drop me an email or give me a call.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay. Thanks so much, Dave. Really
Absolutely.
appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Andrew.
And
thanks for all the work you guys are doing, by the way. Economic development. I've gotten a little more involved with some things you've been doing the last couple of years, and it's just been great.
We're trying to keep that volume up and let Chatham-Kent know
you guys
that
are doing well. You've got a good team here.
we've got a great community.
You're right.
I'm loving the ability to go out and share all of these stories and sort of highlight all of the, not just businesses opening, but businesses who are growing or expanding or doing great, awesome things like the Business Owners Group. All of these different activities out there. That it's awesome. In fact, spoilers. But I'm not going to name who. I was just talking to a business owner today who's developing a song and a music video and some really cool stuff, which we hope to get her on here
awesome.
and talk about that. But it's interesting to see all these different people doing different things. So and really pushing some boundaries.
Perfect.
So
Well, I've been in Chatham-Kent all my life. Love it. Whenever I talk to people outside of them and tell them how great they are, I'm not even kidding, but no, come on, move down to Chatham-Kent. It's great here. And I've met people who have moved to Chatham-Kent and they love it here, and it's just great hearing those stories.
Oh, awesome. I can't end it any better than that. So thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you, Chatham-Kent. We'll see you later.